Come on, John. Let's put an entertaining show. Although statistically show no one watches these things no one watches the first. Well, unless you're watching playback. Then playback people watch it from the beginning. But most of the time people don't watch them. Live people don't catch the beginning. So whatever I say in the next 5 minutes doesn't really matter. Because I'm not being facetious. No. I'm being playful and fun. I really do enjoy these cranberry raspberry flavored sparkling water beverage with other natural flavors. Natural flavors could be like a beaver's butt. It's still natural. Say hi in the chat, folks. I see folks coming streaming in. What's going on? I have just finished the 48-hour AI project. And I must say I'm very, 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 very happy with how it came out. And the topic of AI has definitely been something that has been on this channel quite a bit, on these live streams at least. I haven't done an official video. When they release the publicly allow us to post the video of the film, I'll post it here. All 8 of you watching can vote for it too. I'll make sure we get a link out so people can vote and say give me some kudos for the AI film. I apologize. I'm a little tired. A little bit tired. But I'm here. I wanted to test out my computer, make sure everything is working. Hey, we got a like. Thank you. Say hi in the chat. Hi in the chat. Send a message over to you. Yeah, we're good. All right. So, AI filmmaking, a 48-hour project. If you don't know, it's you get 48 hours to. Howdy there, Sanderson. Okay, so we got a comment there. All right, cool. I'm not yelling to space like I usually do on a Monday night. It is Monday. So in America here, if you're watching from not in America, it is Monday, January 15th. Today's Martin Luther King Day. Most people have the day off, and I'm here with you because that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be, right here. I'm sorry. You are talking to John. Tired John. How you doing? So 48, if you don't know, they give you 48 hours to conceptualize, write a script, shoot a script, edit the script, and deliver a script. In 48 hours, you've got to go. Okay? So the catch is they give you a genre that you have to work with. They give you 2 genres. You pick one or the other, or both. And then you do. Then they give you a character with a profession, and then a prop and a line of dialogue. And then you have to create a short film. For the AI contest, it's 3 to 5 minutes, and for the regular, it's 4 to 7. But 3 to 5 for the AI contest, because they don't think you're gonna survive. I mean, I could have made a 7-minute movie. In fact, the script was when originally cut down, it was like 5 and 45 seconds. So I could have used that extra. I could have kept a couple other jokes in there, and then I could have had a longer exit music for it. Hold on, I need to take a sip of my delicious sparkling water drink, flavored naturally. All right, so let's speak about this. So on Friday night, we got our genre. Our genre was historical film or comedy. And I thought, they know who I am, right? They had to know who I am. Because why would you give me the 2 genres which I'm kind of associated with? I won't say known for, because let's face it, I'm not famous. I'm not known for anything. But you gave me historical film and comedy. I think I can pull that off. So we ended up making a historical comedy. So something come to my door. It's weird. My place is settling. I think somebody trying to text me. I mean, functionally multifunctional. Oh, someone was asking me. I said, force multiplier. There you go. Got to text that back. So the topic was, the character's name was Simon Schmeets. Simon Schmeets. He's a food truck operator. And so we decided, well, he's a historical film. Let's make it Simon Smeets, operator of a time-traveling food truck. Okay, that's where we started. And then they said the prop was a rocket. And okay, Simon Smeets, proprietor of a time-traveling rocket-powered food truck. There we go. So we had to develop a story around this character about a time-traveling rocket food truck driver, rocket-powered food truck. And I didn't leave that comment on the screen. Sorry about that, Anderson Slade. He's just on their screen the whole time. So we did a rocket-powered food truck. We had 3 actors. So we wanted to write a story based around those 3 actors. And eventually became kind of more of a fairy tale that we were trying to tell. And it was Simon Smeets gets into a rivalry with Sophie Flowers. So because I just kind of seen the Scott Pilgrim reanimated thing. So I thought Sophie Flowers, that's a kind of a cute name. And so they have a rivalry. But then here comes the dastardly Leo, the purveyor of the other food truck that doesn't give a crap about his culinary skills. So, but the dastardly Leo uses a secret ingredient that gets people hooked on his food. Secret dastardly ingredient. And she's going to try to corner the market of time-traveling food truckers. And in order to do that, he sets up a large time travel food truck festival where they will declare a winner, and he will basically hook up everybody with this thing. And to invite people to this festival, he invites all the great people of history. So he invites historical figures, and we AI'd a lot of that stuff. And then so that's the plot line. Okay. We were sitting around kind of like, what do we do? How do we do this? Now, the AI rules are that you have to use AI for generating 50% of the visual material needs to be AI. 50% of the, and how you interpret that is going to be kind of loosey goosey. One of the things they said, AI is not like filters are not AI. So if we do like the little duck face filter thing, that's a filter. That's not what we're looking for. Generative AI. So the approach to doing this was to do it as a green screen, to use AI as a matte painting, to generate locations and stuff like that. So the entire thing was shot on green screen, something like 78 shots or something. I mean, not that many, like 50, 60 shots, all done on green screen. And the approach that we took to it was to make it a fairy tale, and I knew that I had the ability to read a teleprompter. You can kind of guess, right? Like I can read a teleprompter. You'd be surprised. Like I've had clients that just cannot read a teleprompter, but I can read a teleprompter. So I'm the team leader, so I totally volunteered. Please, Rigel 7. Please, just got here. Please repeat everything. Not much to repeat, Rigel. Other than that, I'm super tired. So this is going to be kind of a low key stream, but you will definitely get an earful. You came in pretty early, so we haven't really gotten into the AI part of it yet. I'm just discussing rules. So where was I? I don't even remember. Oh yeah. So I play a narrator in this scene, and I narrate the story of. So the whole thing is kind of told to you. I read the story to you, and then there's one scene in the middle, or 2 scenes in it where the actors actually speak. But otherwise, the script is basically like 90% me talking, and then cover my funky looking face with people that actually are decent to look at. Right? That's generally the rule in video production. Just cover up this thing with something. Yeah, that's nice. But no. I'm purposely being defecating. That sounds terrible. Self-effacing. Maybe that's a better word for it. All right, I'm not done yet. Okay, so So we wrote we had actually asked ChatGPT. So we asked ChatGPT to kind of like, hey, give us a story about a time traveling food truck, and it started like, give me a little bit of a story, and then we thought, well, we got characters. Let's have these two characters fall in love. They're rivals at first, but then they fall in love. ChatGPT, tell me that story, and ChatGPT comes up with a story, and I'm like, it's okay. Okay, well, we need a third character. Let's introduce drama. The heart of every drama is conflict. So we need conflict in this thing, right? So let's throw in the dastardly bad guy who, I don't know, has a secret. He's trying to control the world with his spice. That's what it will do. So we had it feed it through that, and ChatGPT is like, okay, gave something. I mean, we were kind of essentially using ChatGPT to like spur or encourage answers from us, right? And it didn't give us a script. It just gave us like, here's an idea for a movie. So we took that idea, we went to dinner, or I went to dinner, because all my friends are like are healthier, I guess, than me. Like I was hungry. I was like hungry. I wanted some those cheese thingies. What do they call those things? Enchiladas. Oh yeah, I had enchiladas, and I bought everyone else drinks, but I had an enchilada because I was hungry, man. I'm like, I don't know about you guys. You guys can like sit around and talk about this thing, but I am hungry. Let's go eat. All right, so we go eat and we talk through the story. So we're sitting at dinner and we talk through the story. We have an idea what we're trying to do. Time rocket powered time traveling food truck. That's the story. So we come back, then we get to writing the script. Write the first draft. Tough, hard, always hard to write a first draft. It's just get it out there. Just vomit on the page. Just do it. If you just get it out there. Right, so I did it, and I couldn't find my final draft. I couldn't find my final draft description, so I had to write it in some other program online, free thingy. Okay. There's a bunch of people here. So we get to the first script, and then we're like, okay, now we need to punch it up with some jokes. And part of it's like, well, this is supposed to be a comedy, so let's just insert as many puns as we can possibly do with this thing. And so we kind of go through it line by line. Like, okay, I like this line. This is kind of needs to be punched up here. What kind of a pun can we work? So I would say, hey, ChatGPT, here's the line. Can you add some puns to it? And it would add some puns. And you're like, ChatGPT, that sucks. You're terrible. You're an awful creation. I wish the world doesn't have you in existence with those puns because they're just awful and they're unusable. And do it again. And it would come back. And then eventually I learned, hey, I can ask ChatGPT to give me 10 puns. Give me 10 puns, variations on this line, and it'll generate 10 puns. And they all suck, except maybe one or two. You're like, one or two. That's not bad. That's not bad. So the analogy, I'm going to jump ahead to the analogy I was going to make later, but I'm going to make it now because you need to hear it because, why not? Is imagine I took a bunch of Legos, a big bucket of Legos, and I just tossed them on the floor and said, go ahead, make something great out of this. That's what AI is like. You're literally just taking, you're looking for pieces. You're looking for something to work. So we did this. We went through the entire script line by line by line by line, saying we need to put a joke here. I want to put a pun here. I want to put this here. I want to make this like punch it up. And the cool thing about ChatGPT is, okay, once in a while, okay, you get a good one. The one of the lines was, I'm positively sure of it. Okay? But then when you do that, you pick one of them out of you have to re-roll like 10, not 100 times, but 20 times to get maybe one decent one. But then that decent one sparks your imagination and you come up with something else. Like I heard the line, and a hush fell over the crowd. And then it wasn't until the fourth time we've gone through the script line by line, trying to punch it up, fourth time going through, a hush puppy fell over the crowd. If you don't know what hush puppy is, I'm not that big of a fan of hush puppies. To me, they're just kind of like fried bread. It's just fried bread, hush puppy. I'm not crazy about hush puppies. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all hush puppy people that watch me. I apologize. I've offended the hush puppy community. I will do better in the future. I will promise to do better by the hush puppy community and realize that hush puppies really are the most delicious fried bread product that you'll ever taste. Hush Puppies, not the shoes. No, the Hush Puppies, the fried bread stuff you had to get, Long John Silver's. You not know what Hush Puppies are? Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna yell at anybody for not knowing what Hush Puppies are. Anyhow, so the cool thing about ChatGPT is like it's sort of a way to bounce ideas off of it, and then it kind of inspires you to come up with something of your own. So it's actually quite an amazing little tool. I mean, I didn't realize how much you could use it in that form. And the more granular you use it, the better. Like if I were to tell ChatGPT, write me a script, it would give you the worst script. It would give you just a really terrible script. Gary says, deep fried cornbread. Thank you. That's what it is, a hush puppy. I love that definition. Deep fried cornbread. Now we all know. Perfect. Thank you. So if you ask ChatGPT to write you something about a big topic, it's going to do a terrible job. But if you use ChatGPT, it's like, hey, I should just have ChatGPT open all the time when I'm on the stream because, there's that one actor. What's his name? He was in that thing. He was in that movie. And ChatGPT could tell you right away. Because if you ask it pointed questions and very tiny things and use it to help you tweak something, it's pretty good. I'll give you another example of what we use ChatGPT in order to create the film. Today, I forgot I had to write the log line and all that stuff. We did finish the film like with a couple hours early, but I just did paperwork and I didn't do the wrap-up stuff. I couldn't come up with a log line. I was just out of ideas for a log line. I was tired. And so what I did was I wrote... I knew I couldn't just ask ChatGPT to create a log line because it's dumb. It doesn't know any better. So I fed it, okay, here's the description of the story. Write me a log line. And it didn't do a lot other than just rearrange some things and put it, maybe simplify the language a little bit. So it sort of edited here's just a bunch of ideas. So it helped me organize my ideas into a log line, which is, cool. Very cool. So that's how ChatGPT for writing. It's not a what they call them, crutch, more of a tool. They can just bounce stuff. And that's the thing about AI, I think, also that people have to realize. It literally is like, you got to hit it 100 times. Just keep hitting it. You don't like the result? Re-roll it. We did that with so much of the stuff. I didn't even get to the visual stuff yet. I love this. Let's talk a little bit here. Let's see. My journalist buddy uses ChatGPT to organize his notes. Then from here, he writes his article. Great use of ChatGPT. So what software did you use after the script? Okay, well, we haven't gotten. So that was Friday night. And I went to bed on Friday, and I just couldn't sleep because I was nervous and all that. And Saturday rolls around. I get here really early to kind of start prepping. And the first thing I do is I try to figure out, how do I do... we need a rocket-powered food truck. And so there are 3 programs I'm going to basically say I used when I was using the visual side of AI. The programs are Midjourney, DALL-E from ChatGPT, and Photoshop Generative Fill. And I use them all for different purposes, and they're very interesting uses. So my experience, so when I got here, I was trying to figure out how to do a food truck, rocket-powered food truck. I threw it into Midjourney and I threw it into DALL-E. And DALL-E almost immediately gave me what I was imagining in my head. Midjourney tends to go wild and create like crazy ideas, like out there ideas that are cool. That has its own style, but it's not exactly what you asked for. Now I realize you can rein in Midjourney. I was just using default settings, right? DALL-E, more often than not, DALL-E will give you close to what you're thinking the way you described it. More often than not. Midjourney tends to just, like I said, just go crazy. So if there are things that you don't know what you want, Midjourney is sometimes the better choice. But if you know exactly what you want, DALL-E's probably will get you there quicker. DALL-E, however, doesn't have quite the photorealism that Midjourney has. Okay, so it's a different. Hey, history enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Now you can work on doing some paperwork for schools. Great use of the time. All right. Do you do your own time? I am my own time. Oh, by the way, the name of the movie is Flavors of Time. Ooh. All right. So, what was I saying? I don't know. You got me distracted. Oh, embarrassing. All right. So, let me take a drink while I refresh my palate here. All right. So I get here early. I'm starting to hit Midjourney and Dolly with some ideas for like a rocket powered food truck. So I did it for Midjourney the night before, and it came up with these rocket ships, but not necessarily a food truck with a rocket attached to it. Dolly immediately understood I wanted a food truck with basically a rocket like duct taped to the top of the thing. And believe me, that's what I got. A food truck with a rocket ship duct taped to the top of the thing. And I developed a food truck for Ramona Flowers. And I went to Midjourney and I told it I want a food truck with like flowers and unicorns and rainbows and all that, pink and all that stuff. And so it came back with a food truck that was covered in real flowers. Real, like it was a food truck that was left in a rainbow infested prairie where just flowers were just sprouting all over it. Okay. And I'm like, that's not really what I wanted. I wanted a food truck with flowers and that it's painted on flowers. And Dolly understood that. So Dolly gave me that. And then the last one is I wanted like an evil black, badass, but utterly soulless kind of a food truck. And in that case, Midjourney gave me the better example there. Okay. So then we shoot. Then we're getting ready to shoot. All the actors get here. You open the thing with I was like, let's all go out and get some stuff, some tools, some costumey stuff, so that we and then give a chance to kind of mingle a little bit before we actually start shooting this thing. So we do that. Takes a little longer than I anticipated, which is not a good thing in 48 to do that. The Cybertruck, that's how it was designed. The Midjourney, maybe. Put that back on that proper. There we go. So we get back, and I'm going to do all my stuff first. I wanted to be kind of cool. I wanted to make like a cool shot for the beginning. So I put on a tuxedo. So yes, you'll see me in a tuxedo. I mean, the MPAA does recommend that I keep this rating kind of high because the sex appeal is a little bit off the charts. It's a little too much for, some people might have like, some sort of heart palpitations when they see me in a tuxedo. I'm just saying, like, men, lock up your wives because, right? Not kid ourselves. So I wore my tuxedo. I wanted a shot of me pulling a book from a bookcase, and then you see me through the books. So we're on green screen here in the studio. I've got a shelf, like just a piece of wood, and I got a couple books and then the book I was going to use as a prop in the middle, just a couple books. All right, so I do that shot. I'll tell you how, and then we're going to edit it. What I did was I used the plate, and then I added the books on the side using Photoshop generative fill, just fill with books, and and it understood. Okay, I want to see the back of the books or the inside cover of the books, and then that's how I created that shot was through just generating fill of those, the filling in the details there. Anyhow, so I do all my stuff. I do all my lines, which is like 90% of the script. Then we break, and I do some pantomime with the actors to do their stuff. And then we go to lunch, and we come back, and we finish their stuff, and they all get done around, like, I want to say about 5 or 6. Then we start editing. Okay, so I put together a rough cut, realized, oh, shoot, the script's running a little long. I kind of was afraid it would, but, we had to cut it down a little bit. And then about 11 o'clock about 11 o'clock while we're kind of getting everything ready, we start, again, hitting the AI, trying to figure out ways to fill up the rest of the scene, like with shots, with the shots, history shots. So there's a point where he goes, the bad guy basically invites all history's greatest people to his food truck festival. So we had to get like, we're trying to figure out, okay, who can we get that makes sense, the visually would make sense, but we need to have me reading a note. So we had like Joan of Arc reading a note. We typed in, Joan of Arc. We had Julius Caesar reading a note. I had Dolly create me a paper pressing of Confucius reading the note, and it looks great. So all this stuff, I don't want to spoil jokes in it yet because I want you to see it kind of fresh. Okay, so that's one way. So we generate these still images of the historical figures, but then we want to add a little bit of motion to them. So you take that still image, and then you run it through something called stable video diffusion. Now, stable video diffusion is like stable diffusion, but with trained on creating like a little bit of motion, 20 frames worth of motion. But John, you're a 24 frame guy. How dare you make like 20 frames? That's not even a full second. Like, you're right, it's not. But you take that 20 frames and you make it a 6 frames per second video. And you say, John, you're a 24 frame per second guy. Why am I in this logic loop? John, you're a 24 frame kind of guy. Why are you taking a 6 frame video? How can you accept that? Now, we're not done yet. We use, get ready for this, frame interpolation. Frame interpolation, motion smoothing. Dun, dun, dun. All right, we use motion smoothing to take 6 frames a second and bump it up to 24. And the results are not bad. Not bad. So, I don't get it. AI can generate full res video now with... Not really. Not really. There's a lot AI can't really do yet. I mean, AI video is wonky. Like, I had to re-roll. So, like Julius Caesar, when I took his still image and then I ran it through the stable diffusion video and then run it back, like, first time he did it, like, his throat was like throbbing. It was like, ugh. So I had to re-roll on that one. But full res now. As far as compositing actors, not only stills, my experience is no, not yet. They're far, and a lot of the stuff that you're seeing out there is demoware. It was like, well, we can do it with this, but we really can't pull any of that stuff off. So, okay, so we're generating all that stuff, and I generate the backgrounds for all the actors, for all the different scenes, the different shots that we do, and I composite them back to all the green screen, to all the shots. And I was shooting raw on the C70. It looks really good. There was some shots that but 48. We're gonna live with that. So so what was different about it was, even though we stopped shooting on Saturday at 5, we're still shooting, we're still working, we're still creating shots, even late in the night on Saturday night. Like, I was still creating material, which is different from a 40 or a traditional 48. 48, your principal photography is done. You're done. There's not much time to reshoot or go out and get more shots. But with generative AI, especially the story we're trying to tell, which is very, very weird. It's a very bizarre story. So I was able to kind of lean into the weirdness of it. You guys say that Runway can do it? I don't think it can. Like, have you guys actually had experience with Runway, or are you just talking about the demo stuff? Because or are we talking about AI generated porn? Because it's a little different. So I've seen one movie that was made with Runway, and I was not very impressed with it. It's not very good. It's like not very good. Checklist above. Where's the checklist? I'm going backwards from you guys. My comments are running backwards. Oh, later. It's just I've been diving into AI video. We're not anywhere. The point, I think if I were to jump ahead and tell you, like, my thesis is, you need traditional skills. You need traditional skills. AI is not going to do stuff for you. I mean, you'll get you a little bit, but it's not going to get everywhere. Runway is wonky. That's my experience. It's iffy but good with live action playlists. I don't even know about that. Well, all AI is iffy, really. But yeah, Runway is wonky. That's what Anderson Slade says. Yeah, it's there's a lot to be said about. I mean, I was having this conversation on Twitter, or X as I like to call it. I'm kind of hip, so I call it X. And we're talking about this one shot. I had to like do a rabbit, like walking through a Whim's fantasy forest. Like, and I wasn't using Runway. I was using was that Stable Diffusion? That was Stable Diffusion video based on an image that was created. But the big ones out there for creating video are Pika Labs and is it Runway? Runway ML? Runway. If I'm thinking Runway or the other one. Is it Runway ML I'm thinking of then? Because I take it back. I was thinking there's another one that's out there that can actually replace people. Yeah, Runway. It was Runway. I do have that. I've given up on Runway. I think Runway and Pika, I don't like them. Like not for what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm trying to make kind of more of a traditional film, in so much as a traditional film about time traveling rocket powered food trucks is going to be pretty traditional. But Rigel says, unrelated, my mom says that hates The Princess Bride. Can you tell her how she's wrong? I don't think she understands the meaning of the word hate. Never mind. When will the USA comply with the metrics? We already do. Like, this says this is net 33.8 fluid ounces or 1 liter. So which one do you think more compliant with the metric system? Do you think 33.8 fluid ounces is a standard imperial measurement, or is it 1 liter? Never mind. Even Runway's roto feature doesn't work great. It's a lot of promises. The problem with AI stuff is, the problem with AI is people don't understand that how it should be treated. Like I said earlier, it's a bucket of Legos, and you just toss them on the floor. So there are dishes that we needed to make. They're historical dishes that we wanted to portray on camera. Because I wasn't going to make a fried dodo bird, or I wasn't going to make time loop tilapia, which is one of the worst things we came up with. Like, I wasn't going to make that dish and photograph it, so I had Midjourney do it. Where was I going with? Dang it, I just lost my train of thought. I just totally lost my train of thought there. Ah! Oh, well. Opinion on Poor Things. Haven't seen it yet. Hi, Filmmaker IQ. I've been a big fan of your channel. If you have a moment when you check out my new Isaac 2023, keep up the brilliant work. What's your new Isaac? Is that a film, or is that like a computer or something? Anyhow. Well, let us continue on with the discussion of the AI. So the cool thing about it was we were generating more and more content for this short film, even after principal photography was done. And that was exciting, seeing like different things evolve, like the different dishes, the historical figures that we had like pop up and be part of the film as guest stars. And I worked on it to about 4 a.m. on Saturday night, and I went home and got like about 3 or 4 hours of sleep, came back at 9 o'clock, but like I got it to a point at 4 a.m. where it was like rough cutted. It was like, except for like 3 or 4 shots I hadn't done the effects for yet. And I came back and I did the effects, and then the main actor, the lead actor in it, was also doing the music, and so he handed me some music. I'll tell you, the film, when I first did a rough cut, I thought, what the hell did I make here? What is it? It's not that funny. It's just like it's trying to be funny. I felt, I didn't feel like it didn't hit off like right away. It took then I was like, well, but let's just keep doing, let's just keep at it, let's just keep going. And I went ahead and I did all the backgrounds, and then it started like, okay, now we're starting to gel a little bit. And then I dropped in like the famous the historical figures in it, and like, okay, now it's, and then there's some visual jokes in there. I don't want to spoil the visual jokes, but there's some really good visual jokes in there. That okay, now I'm laughing, but Sunday morning when I did the sound effects, like doing the sound effects and then hearing my buddy Ed's music with it, like that's the moment. Like wow, okay, now we have a film. Now we actually have a film that I'm proud of. Like I think it's great for 48 hours. I mean, it's a silly film. Tis a silly film. Let's move on. But it wasn't until music and sound effects did it actually feel like a film that was human. Or it just felt like a wannabe, a try hard. And then the music and the sound effects made it work. So, where am I going with all this? I have different thoughts on AI. I wish people could get over this. AI you're gonna limit them jobs. AI don't get my jobs. AI I'm gonna get my jobs. In the future, MPEG-8's predictive frame compression will be AI. With AI, it will be creative. Well, with what you shoot, reality is passe. That's a great. I haven't. So our line of dialogue that we had to put in our film was something so clunky that I could not, for the life of me, memorize what it was. And I didn't have to say it, thank goodness. But it's something like that's three times I've. Oh, I can't even do it now. That's three times. I don't know. I can't. Like it's like that's three times I've had a bad time being nice, or something bizarre, something really really bizarre. So yeah, I feel for you for the mangled language. Hey, J Dog caught a stream after so long. Nice to see you. See him. Howdy, meow wing. Sell it to Bollywood? I think Bollywood would buy it in a heartbeat. I think everybody should buy it. It is Simon Smeets, the time rocket powered food truck time thingy. Will you think Oppenheimer will keep film in the foreground, especially larger formats? You don't need Oppenheimer to do it. I think larger formats are kind of here to stay. Although digital and larger formats are going to be more of a thing, and I like digital large formats. I like digital as far as large format. I want to see more digital than anything. Oppenheimer, it's I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. There are things about the movie that will stick with me for a long time. One thing that a lot of people have noticed is, man, is it hard to pull focus in IMAX. Account says, I sound more like I'm sick of the hype than whatever the technology is. I am so sick of the hype. I am so sick of the hype. I'm so done over it. I am so over it. Like, now that I've worked with it and actually made a project that's not a demo, that's not like a clip I see I post on Twitter, or X as I like to call it, because I'm in the know. I'm totally with it with all the hip kids. That's why I call it X. And I know you guys maybe still call it Twitter, but I call it X. Amongst friends, I call it X. But if you're actually using it to make a project, make a story, try to tell something with it. Now, again, I'm telling a story about a rocket-powered, time-traveling food truck. I don't need photorealism all the time. I can accept a little bit of quantum weirdness. Believe me, I had plenty of quantum weirdness in the video. Holy moly. There's some weird stuff going on. But that's fine because the genre I'm working with allows it. If I'm trying to make, a super high-end blockbuster film, which I couldn't afford to make anyways, but so let's say someone that really is a high-end producer that needs that high-end stuff, then yeah, you're going to be re-rolling, you're going to be manually manipulating. And that's another thing, too. It's like, just because I get a cool... So Sunday morning, to go back to it, Sunday morning I created these big, giant kind of kitchen stadium, but like outdoor kitchen stadium kind of a shot. And I created like the award stage when they finally declare the winner of the first annual time traveling food truck festival. It created this festival or this image that had like smoke that was coming out because you go to a large concert, you see smoke machines like blowing smoke and all that. And if you don't care, then you can just leave it. But I had to go in there and I had to I used Photoshop generative fill to like clean out certain things I didn't feel were appropriate. Like, on the stage, it was like a big spire. I cut that out. I composited like some stock footage of smoke rising. That way you get a little bit of motion into it, right? So it's never about AI only. It's about AI plus the human. And as I was just texting here with someone, it's a force multiplier. It's not, AI is not going to take your job because AI is not going to sit there. It's not going to do anything. It multiplies your force. If you are good without AI, you are even better with AI. If you are not good with AI, if you're not good and you have AI, you're still not as good as the person who has the skills and also has the augmented AI. Also uses the AI to augment their already existing skills, right? Somebody that has no skills whatsoever with AI, yeah, they can make a pretty picture. Oh well, so what? Who cares? I mean, how many pretty pictures do you throw in the trash every single day? Hundreds. You get a catalog in the mail. It goes from your mailbox into the trash can. All those photos that were in that thing, it's hours and hours spent designing those photos, and you just toss it in the trash, right? It doesn't matter because you didn't care about it. Wow, I'm getting philosophical. I will get that way these days. I'm very much so. All right, let's hear some chats. The sad AI. Random question. What do you think is the best or best made shot, etc. Bond film? I really love. Well, I have a soft spot in my heart for the Casino Royale, Craig Ferguson. I know his name's not Craig Ferguson, but let's just pretend Craig Ferguson was James Bond, because that thought is funny in my head. A Scottish Craig Ferguson, James Bond. Daniel Craig. Thank you, brain, for eventually catching that mistake. There you go. Not Craig Ferguson. Daniel Craig. I love the look of Casino Royale, but also because I think Ava, you know what I'm talking about, is remarkably beautiful. As a Bond girl, she has like an aura about her that is vulnerable, seductive, but dangerous. So it's like all those values that make her kind of the best Bond girl of all time. I think Ava Green is like the best Bond girl of all time. So I love that movie. I've seen it quite a few times. That movie to me is really good. However, I think the visuals of Skyfall are better. Although I don't love Skyfall that much that the rest of the world seems to love it a lot more than I do. I think it's okay. I think it's great. I think it's good. It's B+ level for me. My book of things that I like about the movie, it's a B+ movie. But the visuals, because it is that dude, the dude, ChatGPT. What's the name of that dude? Oh yeah, because it's Deakins. Thank you, brain, for eventually switching back. Oh yeah, the dude, Deakins. Okay, that's how I got there. Barbie Bond is definitely a good one. So I like my Bond in bright magenta. That's just true, right? Bright magenta, and talking about the patriarchy. No, Scottish Bond was Craig Ferguson. You're thinking of Kevin Conroy was a great James Bond. In that anime James Bond and the New Adventures, where James Bond goes into the Gotham and becomes like this. So I don't know if you've heard this character. So James Bond goes to Gotham City with all his wealth that he's amassed, and at night he puts on a costume and he fights like bad people. Like, have you ever heard this concept? It's insane. I'm like who would take this seriously? Why would anybody take? He dresses as a what? A bat? A bat? Oh my goodness! What are we doing, people? This is crazy. Craig Ferguson, James Bond would be the Pink Panther. Add the benefit of being in bright magenta. There you go. You know, when I was in 7th grade, I played. I was a nerd. As you can see, I'm not a nerd anymore. I'm the epitome of masculinity and hyper masculinity. So much so that I'm sure you can almost feel it wafting through the stream. It's just coming like, whoa, geez. Got a lot more manly in here. So when I was 7th grade, I played the trumpet. I still play the trumpet, but I performed a solo act of Pink Panther. Ba-dum, 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 ba-da-ba-da-da. Yeah, that was fun. I remember the fingerings for the first half of the song, and the rest I kind of had to fumble around a little bit. AI is like your art previs department giving you creative choices you can choose from as the director. Yes. But it's a little bit more. It's even more. It's even more granular than that, because it can be used to not only give you ideas for art department, but you can use it to develop ideas for ideas. And it's amazing. The joy of the, at least ChatGPT especially, is to ask it extremely pointed questions. Like, don't ask it general stuff. Like, the more general you are, the less useful it becomes. But if you go down to the gritty and just present me 10 options for puns for this line, and then you can take 9 of them and throw them all away, and then you like one, but you don't. But then you like one, but it's almost there, and you can massage it and make it work. And that's how I'm feeling about AI. It's like, it's not just options. It's because that's not always very well. If that's really early on in the development stage. If you just use it for like some creative brainstorming things, okay. I'm kind of moving it past that to more later stage production or post-production or whatever you want to call it, right? You can use it in a way that augments what you're trying to do. For Photoshop, another example, the Photoshop generative fill is pretty impressive, although it's not, sometimes they get things wrong. So like I use it for photos I do of like student of the month programs I shoot. I take a photo, but there's always people milling about in the background and it looks kind of silly. Like, why are they just highlight them and go remove people, type in remove people, bam, they're gone. Now sometimes it puts like weird stuff there. So, you got to keep your eye out. Now, could I do this? Yes, because I am a skilled Photoshop, whatever I do. Yeah, I'm pretty dangerous when it comes to Photoshop. Can I do it? Yes, but would my time be better spent doing something else rather than just performing the magic, not the magic eraser, but like the healed brush, or using clone stamp tool to just get, no, just something else. I'm not proving to anybody. You have to turn into pumpkin, hope to watch this in the morning, and there you go. It will be here, I think. My brain is quantum weirdness by itself for everyone to suffer. There you go. Do you think that Terminator was a warning about AI? Nope. Sci-fi movies are never about the future. I'm going to drop a philosophical bomb on all of yous. Sci-fi is not about future. Sci-fi is about the modern time. And that's a distinction, I think, between like a person that reads sci-fi, and I don't read that much because I'm kind of functionally illiterate. I'm just kidding, I'm not. But like if you just treat sci-fi as sort of like imagining the future, you're really missing out on what sci-fi is. Sci-fi is talking about the present day, but re-examining it from different rules. Like I was talking to this person last night about how like we don't. Okay, this is a good one. I want to talk about sci-fi is about our current opinion about the future, which is almost never true. No, it's not. It's about the present. Sci-fi is always about, at least good sci-fi is always about the present and making statements about the present, but doing so in a way that changes the parameters to make the point. Like so, there's I was explaining why I don't have hair. Gene Roddenberry, when they were casting for Jean-Luc Picard, or I don't know, this is kind of an apocryphal story. I think the story was like a reporter asked how can a man like Jean-Luc Picard captain a ship in the future, like 2400, whatever, 2024, no, whatever the year is, 2430, right? The Jean-Luc. You think by 2340 that they would have invented a cure for male pattern baldness. And the story goes that Gene Roddenberry says, by 2340, no one will care about male pattern baldness. So is he making a statement about 2030, 24 or whatever? Is he making a statement about the future, or is he making a statement about the values that we should be having today? So that's not a great revelation. I hated it when some people said films 20 years ago predicted. Oh yeah, 20 years. No, it happened 20 years. These people are toddlers and can't see. Yeah. Sci-fi is very much a product of its time. The effects reflects the concerns and issues of the time it was produced. Exactly. That's where I'm gonna. That's where I'm trying to land on, right? Like 1984 is not about the future. It's about what happened in Russia. It's about what Orwell was thinking was happening in England. It wasn't a prediction. It was a commentary on the modern day. Like all art is a commentary on the modern day. The future is a trap. Don't go there. Turn back while you still can. Using the future to comment about the present, or using a different set of parameters. So let's talk about this one story. So I have gotten a lot of energy recently, and I got inspired to perhaps do something that I've been kicking around for a long time. I don't know if it will happen still. So but I got at least tried to get the ball rolling. I wanted to show the film The General, Buster Keaton's General, 1926 movie, The General. Because I saw it when I was in college, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic. It was so accessible. Like people, you could just watch it. Like I hadn't watched a lot of silent films. When I watched that film, I was like, wow, this is like great. I love this. This is awesome. And I'm also a musician. So when I understood like how silent films and music worked, I wanted to marry the two. I wanted to play matchmaker and just, hey, I got a girl, you might want to meet her. Her name is The General, and she's made by Buster Keaton. Hey, I got a dude here. He's a 12-piece orchestra. Get together, have a few laughs, have a few drinks, go see what happens. You never know. Whatever. It's all good. So I've got this idea to do a live screening of The General with a live orchestra. How do I do that? I don't have a live orchestra, so I tried to approach the live orchestra. I'll see if they write back. Who knows? I don't know. They might be too busy. I don't have to, I'm not stuck to just one live orchestra. But I looked up The General, and I thought, well, hold up here. Will I get blowback from the fact that The General is about a Confederate? Because, people are touchy. Even though the film itself has really nothing racially objectionable in it. But would I get blowback from the fact that it's portraying the Confederacy in a positive light? And then I looked it up. I was like looking up, seeing what people were thinking out, what people were writing, and I found this very interesting thought about it, or approach. And it has a writer. Sorry, I don't have the blog, and I can't give you the name of the blog. Maybe you look it up yourself. Maybe you'll hit the same Google search. Although with days with Google, who knows? But basically, the movie came out in 1926. We're in 2024. Wow, 98 years later, and with our current political understandings, we judge that movie as portraying the Confederates in a positive light. Nothing about the values of the Confederates, but they just happen to be Confederates, and we see that as a bad thing. But that's from the political lens of 2024. Let's imagine ourselves now in 2026. Okay. You make a movie about the Civil War. 1926, there are people alive in 1926 that fought in the Civil War. If not, their parents fought in the Civil War. So that is a very, very recent memory. If you made a movie about the Civil War and it was about why the Confederates were bad people, or the bad guys, the villains, if you made a Confederate movie about the Confederacy being villains in 1926, 2024, even if it, or 26, even if it is just a surface level, they're the bad guys, twirling mustache guys. In our modern, to borrow a modern phrase, that would be punching down, because they lost the war. They lost the war. If you made a movie where they were the villains, you'd never sell tickets in the South. So that's why they made them Confederates, because they could sell that to the South. The North won the war. Oh, so what? They make a movie about Confederates being the heroes. Oh, so what? Whatever. We won the war. We preserved the Union. Who cares? Because that was the attitude back then. It wasn't so like, I'm offended. I'm so dang offended. Right? So that was a real, like a humongous realization to me. It's like, I'm seeing it from today. I'm not seeing it from then. Now, would I get crap? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Who cares? But if it would come up, that's how I would explain it. So, The General is absolutely a masterpiece. I did not realize this, but a bomb apparently when it first came out. It wasn't, even though they made the Confederates the good guys. Like, no one wanted to see it. It was like, he spent a lot of money, but it didn't do very well. It's interesting. Have I seen Dream Scenario yet? It's so good. Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. No, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't watched anything. I'm probably going to watch a movie tonight because I haven't watched anything in a long time. And as soon as I get out of here, we'll go for a little bit longer. I am really tired, so apologize. But I do have to pack some stuff for tomorrow, so I want to make sure. Isn't Gone with the Wind one of the highest grossing? It was, yeah. It was until like Jaws, I think, came out and topped it. But yeah, so there is a, like, I think if you look at Hollywood, try to name a golden era production where they made the South the bad guys, the villains. There's got to be some, right? There had to be movies about the Civil War where obviously portrayed Abraham Lincoln as, saintly, or as the rail splitter, preserver of the Union. Dream Scenario has the fart joke of the year. Also clearly shot in Toronto, as someone in the area was a bit distracted. LOL. I have the best fart joke of the year. I apologize to Dream Scenario. I took that crown. I'm sorry. It's already been. It's all over X, which is what I call Twitter, because I'm cool and with it. But yeah, John Hess has the best fart joke of the year. Or truly do. Sorry. Just go on my X. You'll see I had AI write me. Oh, but that's the other thing I forgot about the 48 hour. We have this Suno AI, Suno.ai, Suno.ai is so much fun, because my buddy was just, all he did was feed the story of our script into this music making AI, and then it fed us this really cool like 80s synth pop version of the song of the story with our title, and it was like the perfect 80s like end credit music scene. It was that makes the film for me. Totally makes the film for me. quote, the greatest comedy ever made, the greatest Civil War film ever made, and perhaps the greatest film ever made. Orson Welles on the general. Well, he has not seen. I don't think he saw my video, farting in the bathtub. So okay, I understand that he is not of this time to realize the genius of farting in the bathtub song that I wrote. So okay, we'll give him that. We'll give him that. For All Mankind season 4 is now over. Cool. I caught up on a couple episodes since last week, and I gotta admit, my interest in this show in this season has took a U-turn. I was kind of getting bored with it, but now I'm kind of back into it. I really don't like Margot now, because I got to the episode where she and Aaliyah have a thing. You know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, I won't spoil anymore. Yeah, I don't like Margot. I don't like stunt makeup. Sorry, Margot. Your characters, I'm done with you. Yeah, those that have seen it, I guess, will understand kind of where I'm going at. You can probably, well, John, the last couple episodes she gets redeemed. I don't care. Stunt makeup. There we go. Hey, Bullet Science, how you doing? Just Catch You for All Mankind is good. Only got the last episode to watch. Yeah, I think I have like either 2 or 3 episodes from the end. But the season got pretty good for me. Like I started like getting back into it, really getting back into it. I just hadn't time to do anything. I got some other things going on, good things. Yeah, the plain makeup doesn't match her age. Yeah, you're right. Oh yes, the fart song. The fart song is, let's face it, the pinnacle of human achievement. Like when aliens come to visit us, if they haven't already, when aliens arrive and they ask, what is the culture of Earth? Do you go to Beethoven? Do you go to Taylor Swift? I mean, I would go to Katy Perry, but we all know in our hearts that the first thing you do when the aliens arrive is play them the fart song, the farting in the bathtub song, because it is so crucial to our society. That if to understand man is to understand how it is to fart in a bathtub and have bubbles just, it's like you're taking a bath and you're like, wow, this isn't even one of those like jet tubs, jacuzzis. No, it's not a jacuzzi, but it feels like one because of how much farting in the bathtub. I am really gone. Some things go beyond redemption. All things are possible under God's love and farting in the bathtub. Should watch some westerns like Who Shot Liberty Valance or Bandolero. I haven't seen Who Shot what's the one with the cowardly thing? I don't know. Do you think today's supervillains are portrayed like misunderstood, traumatized people who became evil a little bit too much? No, I don't. Tootie toot. Yeah. I like it. I like it because I feel like it helps us understand the world better. Like, and a sympathetic villain is a good villain because in some ways you can't morally justify destroying them. And that little bit of tension creates even more drama. Like, if I'm dealing with an ant, I have no morality holding me back from crushing the ant, especially who's coming after my vitamin C gummies, because that happened. Oh man, I was pissed off. I paid $17 for well, no, I don't pay that much. I paid like $9.98 at Walmart for these vitamin C gummies. because it was during like that every winter I get sick when we go to Idlewild. Every winter. And this year I'm like, I am not getting sick. I'm eating my vitamin C gummies every single day, and I do. I do. And I did not get sick. All my friends got sick. I did not get sick. So, but I left the lid off of it, and how these ants found this vitamin C gummies. So I had no qualms about crushing those little buggers. But I would have an issue like killing a mammal that was just minding its own business, and I wasn't hungry. Like I would have. So if we have a villain that has a sympathetic, is a person that's misunderstood, traumatized people, it creates a level of conflict that isn't there if it was just pure evil. There you go. It's the sprouts from Christmas time. Oops. Ski waxing is called farting. That is a term I did not know. I'm afraid, though, my brain, when you tell me a note like that another factoid will probably fall out of my brain when I was like, oh, did you know that ski waxing was called farting? But then I'll forget like the square root of 9. The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford. That's the one I was thinking of. They say that it was the last Christmas in California they can't afford to celebrate it again. And what do we do with a celebrate? We put some it's Christmas in California is so rough. We put some lights on a palm tree, and then we go out and barbecue in a nice 76-degree weather. Boo-hoo. Oh, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas. I'm dreaming of a nice, comfy Christmas. How's that? How you like them apples? You like them apples, don't ya? All right, sorry. I'm kind of giddy. I'm a little giddy. Out of topic. Like everything's out of topic. This is AMA. This is like whatever you want to ask. It's up to you. I've already talked about AI. You don't have to talk about AI if you want. Out of topic. Well, how are people feeling the economy? Oh, California and the East Coast is an air of negativity all around. I'm pretty positive, but that's just me. I don't know. I don't really know what the general feeling is. I think what my bank is telling me, it's like, you had a pretty good run on 2023. 2024 might see some pullback, so don't be alarmed if you see some red on your statements. I'm like, oh, well, they didn't say it that way. I said it that way because that's a clever way of saying it, but they did not say it that way. I'm going to pitch an idea. I'm not doing much on the creative side at the moment. I'm working for industry audio sales. Would you be interested in collaborating on your United Artists project? Yeah, sure. I need to collaborate more because I can't get all the stuff done. I have 2 videos that I need to work on. That actually, I do have a sponsored video coming up. I want to review Hollyland's Lark. So that's not a secret. It is a sponsored video. I'll talk about how to use those microphones in a how I use those kind of microphones. And the Lark is actually a pretty impressive little thing. I know this is not part of the deal, so don't think, guys, if you're watching, don't think this is it. No, I'll make a video. But yeah, this is really quite a little impressive device. It comes with its own little charging case, and yeah, they're pretty impressive. I'll tell you more about them later in a future video. See, aren't you glad you signed up with me? All right, there's that. What are we saying now? Do you use microphones to produce images? I wonder if you can. Can you do like a sonar kind of thing? Perhaps you could. I don't know. What else do we have here? January makes farts last longer. Good to know. This is my fart song. Take back my life song. Very good. Very good. This is my fart song. There's only one like it. Okay. I've used Hollyland Video Wireless as passable. It's not high-end. I prefer Vaxis for wireless transmission. I've had some issues with my Hollyland Wireless. I had some talks with them about it and see if we can figure out what's wrong with it or upgrade it. Something like that. All right. That does sound positive. Does not sound positive. I'm pretty much what I described with anyone I met here. Yeah, I'm kind of fine, but I can see potential problems. What I worry about is election year. Well, and it depends. There's a theory that election years, when there's a Democrat, are usually good for the economy because the media will pump up the Democrat. Election years for Republican are going to be bad because the media will try to downgrade the economy. So the economy is very much a factory of expectation. Right? Expectation is what drives economics. If you expect a recession, you're going to get a recession. If you expect growth, you get growth. Weird. Radar technology is what makes those images possible. It's how we saw U-boats in World War II. Yes, how you did. You British man, you and your radar. Have you seen Blow Up 1960? I have not seen Blow Up. It's a weird thing. I just haven't seen that movie. It's Event. I just haven't. Just one of the movies that just kind of slipped through the cracks. I just never saw Blow Up. I should. I should watch it tonight. We'll see. I'm going to watch something tonight. Maybe I'll watch the rest of For All Mankind. That'd probably be a good use of my time. It was funny. I was showing someone my popcorn videos. You remember the popcorn video? Yeah, someone clipped one of my live streams where I was talking about how it became YouTube poop. And luckily he put like links to the YouTube poops that were featuring me, and wow, I appreciate that. What a work that somebody did that. Jack D. Ripper, in talking about the economy, he says, I expect growth in my pants. Which of the great European auteurs is my favorite? That would probably be Sergio Leone. I got you guys. You thought I was going to go with the French New Waver. No, Leone! Even though he did steal like pretty hardcore from Kurosawa. I know. That's what I am, the one person I think in the world that's a film nerd that hates split diopter shots. Like, I just hate them. Like, everybody's like fascinated. Oh my gosh, a split diopter shot. I'm like, that looks terrible. Like, I hate the look of split diopter. Like, oh, but John, you don't always have to use split diopters to make it like really over the top. You can kind of use them subtly to increase the depth of field. Yeah, but I still hate them. I still hate split diopter shots. And, maybe you can slip one by me. Okay, good for you. But that just means you use it for like, not as a standout, like, I'm just going to focus on two different things. And it looks, to me, a split diopter looks like a split screen. Because technically it is. It's a split screen. But if I'm doing a split screen, I like to have like a line in the middle or something to tell you this is a split screen. But oh man, I just hate split diopter shots. I just really do. But every time I go, like, oh my gosh, it's such a cool tool. It's always like, no, it's not. It's lame. It breaks physics. And in this house, young man, we recognize the third law of thermodynamics. In this house, we acknowledge the third law of dynamics, thermodynamics. Where I'm from, most DOPs underexposed log footy from a post person. It drives me nuts, especially S-log, and that's a problem over here too, or people know their shit. When I shot this thing, my buddy that was shooting me exposed better than I did, and I feel stupid about that. But I underexposed a little bit, and I was evaluating it using Rec 709, but it recorded raw, so you can put anything you want on there. I just think people just don't. It's difficult. Like, it's difficult to know sometimes exactly to meter like anything, log or any of that stuff. So there was one shot I noticed in split diopter in Dune. I think I might have remembered it, but that might just be you leading me on. Like you leading my brain to thinking that there was, because I thought maybe there was one, but I didn't recognize it. Leone felt the most Hollywood. Not really. Leone, I think that's colored from that's a shaded That's a from modern interpretation. I feel that Leone was unique, and then Hollywood copied Leone, and then after Leone, he was more it became more Hollywood style to do his style of shooting. But like, I mean, his westerns, like no other western. You go back watch High Noon, it doesn't look anything like Once Upon a Time in the West, like any of those movies. Oh, you know what? I like to watch. I like to watch. I really want to watch for a few dollars. It's got one of my best lines when Clint Eastwood comes up. He rides up on his donkey. He's like, "My donkey thinks you're making fun of him. I don't think he likes that." I just. Yeah, De Palma is just obsessed with split diopter. So, yeah. I finished Slow Horse on Apple TV. Really enjoyed it. Nicely made. Good stories. Thought you might like it. Have you seen it? No, I have not. Apple TV is a weird platform. Apple TV has a lot of stuff that I probably would like, but they don't try to show it to me. In fact, they basically wait for me to find it through other people. Because Apple TV, for some reason, does not want you to watch any of its original programming. They only wanted you to watch like Ted Lasso, and maybe they'll have you watch what's the other one that's on their morning show or something like that. But they don't want you to watch any other show they produce because they don't ever try to show like ads for it at all on Apple. That's just what they do. Just is Ted Lasso, and then they've got to show you like, oh, you can watch some football games or soccer for us Americans. You can watch some soccer games because you watch Ted Lasso. Now we think you're into soccer, so here's a bunch of soccer matches, and that's all Apple TV does. Like I've discovered For All Mankind from you guys. You guys are from All Mankind. You told me to watch a show. I'm like, okay, I'll watch it, and I love that. I discovered like Schmigadoon somehow. It wasn't well. I think that was digging through really deep in Apple Plus. But all the shows I like on Apple Plus, Foundation is another one they push a lot. But like they just do a terrible job of like pushing their shows. So anyhow, am I getting texts? I am. Very good. All right. De Palma stole. Yeah, De Palma's. Weren't you the one that talked about that Tarantino book on cinema speculation about? And Tarantino has this great chapter about De Palma and and how much he thought of himself as Hitchcock, really, basically, and not in a bad way. It wasn't because Tarantino, I think De Palma are friends, but it's really it's just fascinating to hear his thoughts on the topic. I don't think of him as Leone as a. That's why I thought I was cheap. I thought I was cheating when I said Leone as an auteur, European auteur, because I know most people wouldn't consider him one. Yep, the exposure depends on the gamma curve. For example, Rec 79 has a top exposure of 70, 80, 70, 80. Most log curves top out around 35 to 40. Looking at the histogram anyways. Good point. The theme from Slow Horse was sung by Mick Jagger. Thank you. The theme for Farting in the Bathtub was sung by Taylor Swift. Apple TV is like the A24 of TV, basically Tommy Wiseau level bottomless money pit. Apple is a bottomless money pit, though. I mean, really. Have you seen their balance sheet? Did you see the documentary De Palma? That was pretty good. No, I haven't seen it. Tarantino has said that Palma is one of his favorite movie generation brats. Sorry, the ChatGPT in my brain just like went offline. Favorite movie brat generation. Yeah, it would be good to be Taylor Swift. You could sell money selling that bathwater. Farting in a bathtub, what a glorious sound. Something echoing all around. Bouncing off the walls, echoing all around. A bubbly fantasy. Yes. Do I know what happened? John, do you happen to know Theo Angelopoulos? He's a Greek director famous for his adherence to planimetric composition and wide shots. I recommend The Traveling Players. I don't know Theo, but cool. I really liked, if we were talking about Greek films, What movie am I going to reach for and talk about Greek films? You know what it is. Zorba the Greek. Anthony Quinn, a Mexican playing as Greek, but holy moly, talk about like a career defining role of career defining role for Anthony Quinn. Like seriously, Zorba, come on, my friends, dance with me, da 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 da. Okay, I'm starting to go into Fiddler on the Roof here. But no, Anthony Quinn. That's an interesting movie. That Zorba the Greek. It's independent in a way. Oh, you know what movie I want to watch now? I want to watch. I really want to watch Sweet Smell of Success. Because that, I think Casablanca. I should watch Casablanca too. Jeez, let's make a movie night tonight. Casablanca has one of the best scripts ever written. Like the lines are so delicious. They're just tasty morsels. Like to write like Casablanca would be amazing. Very few. I guess modern screenwriting tends to go more toward like realism, and Casablanca goes for just pure style. And it's so good. But second to that would be Sweet Smell of Success. Because the dialogue in that is just so snappy. Oh yeah, we getting hot here. You love me some Sweet Smell, some Tony. What's his face? And the other dude, that dude. Yes, I've got it on Blu-ray. Everyone, I for some reason I'm seeing everyone post like videos. This is why physical media matters to me. I agree, probably, but my physical media collection is very, 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 very thin. Chinatown, but for best script, I don't know. I mean, Chinatown's a great movie, but to me, like if I'm just going for the pure writing aspect of it, I still am a Casablanca, Sweet Smell of Success brat. Like that's my jam. I think the first film noir was Blue Velvet. My first film noir, yeah. Am I getting some updates? Yes, I am. Okay. Here's looking at you, kid. We'll always have Paris. I mean, there's so many quotable ones. Sir, gambling. I'm shocked that there's gambling in this facility. Sir, your winnings. Thank you. Oh, there's so many freaking good things in that movie. Favorite decade of movie posters? 80s. Let's be honest. Come on. You got to go back to the decade of when Drew Struzan was drawing. Like his stuff is just awesome. Come to think of it, what's my favorite film? Currently, the answer I always give is Dr. Strangelove. Gentlemen, there's no fighting in the war room. When I watched Casablanca, I already knew all the lines from Bugs Bunny. That's true. Most people's first exposure to opera is through Bugs Bunny. So, actually, Angelopoulos is quite dark. His work is influenced by Tarkovsky, Orson Welles, and Mizoguchi. Cool. Anthony Quinn was the great and last action hero. You do 360 on me, Benedict. Charles Dance, 180, you Sicilian smack. If I did 360, I would end up back where I started. That's good. Yeah, I have a feeling Jack D. Ripper likes Dr. Strangelove. Kind of, I don't know, something about him, something about his avatar that just makes me think that would be something that Dr. Strangelove. Such a weird movie, right? Because like you'd think, well, Kubrick is such a weird director. He's everyone I like hearing Vivian Kubrick talk about Vivian Kubrick talk about her dad because she talks about him in a warm sense. Like Stanley Kubrick was always a worm, and maybe it doesn't come across in some of his films, but Strangelove is such a bizarre film from somebody that also made like 2001: Space Odyssey. There's something about Kubrick that is hard to pin down, hard to even fully wrap your mind around. Baby wants rabbit stew. And baby what baby wants, baby gets. See? Oh, is that from Sweet Smell? I can't remember. Don't forget, my brain's kind of gone. Is anyone tired of seeing those the that new Snow White girl, and she's doing like that thing with her face. Like, she must regret ever doing that on camera, because that's all you see of her. That's like enough already. I like movies with numbers like Stalag 17, 12 Angry Men. How about Slaughterhouse 5? How about Pi? How about Pi? Pi wasn't a movie that I loved, but it is in the movie with a number in it. What about 76 Trombone? That's Music Man. I like to watch 76 Trombones again. When I get really tired and I was watching Music Man, and to be fair, I know people tell you shouldn't, if you go to the movie theater, you should restrain yourself. Don't yell at the screen. Don't talk back at the screen. But when you're at home, oh man. And so I was watching Music Man, and I've seen it before. I've been in the show as a trumpet player. So toward the end, it's like, Harold Hill, if you don't come back there, you make an honest woman of Marion. I swear I'm going to come over there and kick your butt, mister, because you got trouble. Trouble that comes with a T and it rhymes with P, and that stands for pull. Oh, hey Rick, how you doing? You got 7 inches of snow. My gosh, thanks for the super chat. City is paralyzed. I bet 7 inches of snow. See, in California, with all our crazy liberal politics, we got 0 inches of snow. I'm just joking with you. Obviously, 0 is less snow than stuff. Don't forget 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys, there you go. 7 Ronin, 9 Ronin? I don't know. It's one of those Ronin movies. 1917, 1941, 1984. Just join me, everyone. Just name all the movies with numbers and titles. Jaws 1, no, Jaws 2, Jaws 3, Jaws every sequel movie. Deuce Bigelow 2. I'm losing my brain. What do you think of the AFI Top 100 list? I don't see anything of the Golden Globe. Does it marketers just gave up? I like the AFI Top 100 list because it's like a good, like to just kind of introduce students to like movies. Although I'm not really a movie. My job as a teacher for the class is not to introduce people to movies. I'm not a film appreciation class. But I do recommend the AFI 100 because it's a good place to start and to go with it. So I like the AFI 100, and I don't like people kind of bitch and moan about how like, oh, not enough foreign film. Yeah, the A for AFI stands for American Film Institute. So, and there's plenty of hundreds top 100 lists that include a lot of foreign film. So 2010, there 2001, 2010. There you go, another examples. Thought on Peter Hayam's films from the 80s and 70s, 80s. I don't know Peter Hayam. Paths of Glory, Most Human Film. You know what? Lolita is an interesting film. Now we're gonna delve into the cancelable material. Lolita is, in today's climate, it's very, very not appropriate. But don't forget, Lolita in 1960, whatever it was also considered the unfilmable project. I don't know. I guess what they did with Lolita was to quite a bit sanitize and up her age quite a bit. And that's, to be fair, if it didn't, it would be abhorrent, right? The fact that she's like 17 and looks 18 and acts 18 and all that, the way she acts. If it was the way the book was described, I've got the book just out of curiosity. I've never read it, but yeah. Anyhow, it's a weird one. That's a weird one. Have I seen the Adrian Lyne version? Is that the one with what's his face? The guy that I never saw that version of it. Running Scared is great. The Pre-Lethal Weapon with Billy Crystal. There you go. Lolita is a great book. One of my favorite books in English. Kubrick did not adapt it well. The 1997 film is better. That's That's what I think the Peter Sellers angle might have shaded it. I mean, I've never read the book, so I don't know exactly what was taken out and what was left in there. But I feel like Peter Sellers in Lolita was very much a show offy kind of a didn't it just didn't land. Jeremy Irons, thank you, Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons. There's an old Simpsons joke where it's like they do anagrams. And it's like, I'll give you an easy one. Jeremy Irons. It's like, and Lisa's like, yeah, Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons. And the dad's like, okay, not the dad of her friend's like, okay, well, maybe this game's a little too hard. Here's a ball. Maybe you'd like to bounce it. Oh, Lord. That was good. 13 floors, 13 Friday's the 13th. Yep, there you go. Those are all good. All right, guys. I think I am going to tap out. Thank you for joining me. And let me explain a little bit and get my thoughts out a little bit about AI today. I'll probably end up doing a video once they make that stuff more public. I'll put a link up on the stuff so you can go. I'll have you guys all vote for me. There you go. That's how I'll cheat. All 36 view. Oh, 29. 29 viewers. So that's what we're going to have you all help me out there. We're going to vote that Flavors of Time is the best film around ever since he made that farting movie. All right. I'm super tired. I think I am really smack dab in that wall. Hello, hello, hello. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I will go get some sleep and some food, and I'll pack. I might have to go get food first because I'm dying here. And we will see you later. Have a happy rest of the week. If we see you by this weekend. All right, guys. We'll see you. Bye-bye.